All right, Joe. I decided to record a video because, quite frankly, I really liked your screenshot and I wanted to kind of go through it. And I thought maybe a video better than just writing all of this different thoughts I had in my head. First and foremost, your pivot candle here is absolutely the right call. It historically, you had these 3 candles, 4 candles coming down. It pivots back up. You certainly see that as a pivot candle, but that's also really, really, really difficult to catch. I wouldn't ever even try to catch something like that. And you're also talking about kind of in the infancy of the cash open, right? You get a lot of volatility during the cash open. And just by way of disclaimer, I was not actively trading the cash open here today. I was kind of doing all my swing trading stuff, scanning, getting ready for the scanning reports, all that jazz. But we were certainly tracking the intraday market in the morning. And when you saw that, it was just a lot of volatility following the unemployment report. And today is not unique to that, but it is unique in the sense that we are dealing with a major economic report today that's going to create a little bit more volatility. And so when you're point right here on this candle and you're like, hey, I'm hesitant on that call option, I would be hesitant on that call option as well. Again, tough to catch that pivot, but even in the real time, historically, yeah, you're looking back, you're like, oh yeah, just do it right there, go above the high of the candle. Everything's good to go, right? But in the moment, you're coming through that volatility, you got multiple time frame nonsense at that point, and you really don't have both your 5-minute chart, your 15-minute chart, and your 30-minute chart at that point kind of aligned. You need more time in the analysis, which means you can't force that. And so you got to be a little bit patient there. You get a little bit tempted here, and if you break up above that candle there, you certainly could call that a trigger there. But I think there's one trade here, honestly, Joe. I think there's one trade here when you look at this chart and you nailed it on your analysis. You said, okay, this is probably where I should have played the breakout. And you're absolutely right. That is where you should have played the breakout. You get your real good pivot point here following the cash open. You get a little bit of a double tap right there. It then consolidates right here for a good 20 minutes right there. And then you get that power candle that maybe you don't catch it on the actual breakout, but you can easily just market stop order above the high of whatever candle you want on whatever shorter time frame you want on the follow through candle here. And so I'm looking at that candle here and I'm saying, man, now you're clearing through all of this nonsense there. Now, more than likely, your other time frames are now starting to align as well because you're getting a little bit more time. And as you follow through here, I'm not a bar by bar trader, and so if I miss the trigger here, I'm just going to say I missed it. I'm perfectly fine. Move to a different instrument, move to something else, go for a walk, do something else with your life. Because again, I'm not going to bar by bar. And I'm not trying to discount bar by bar because you could certainly bar by bar there and it would have been successful. Bar by bar, bar by bar. All of that bar by bar would have been successful outside of that one candle right there. So I'm not saying that can't be you. But I also don't think you should get into that, well, I'm fearing out, missing out on that next 0.25% movement on a daily candle after 1% movement up. You got to ask yourself a question, how much juice are we really going to squeeze out of this orange today? And so I would be a little bit hesitant getting into this FOMO mode up here because, again, the trigger's here. And once it leaves your eyes and you start getting into that, man, this is overextended. If it's overextended on your trigger time frame, on your other main time frame, you just got to allow it to settle in again. So it's either bar by bar, or it's nothing. And if you've accepted the fact that you're not a bar by bar trader, then it's nothing. If you're still going to bar by bar, any one of these candles, you could just simply go above the high, put a stop loss probably underneath the 5, I would say, if you're going to bar by bar, kind of ride the lightning there, the 5 EMA. And again, but that's really the only 2 scenarios you could do here. Either drill that really good trigger right here with the follow through candle right there. That's both really, really solid. Or 2, you just say, I'm going to bar by bar and just play the momentum. And if you're going to bar by bar play the momentum, you just get that entry above the high, get a stop underneath the low, probably in that 590 EMA combo, and you just kind of ride the lightning until the momentum shifts, obviously. Now, as you work through the rest of the day, as you see the market slow its momentum here, there's a battle ensuing right here. So you see the initial profit taking coming down, and it's trying to establish a new support level right here. The only question is, and it's clean to the downside as well, obviously, but the only question is, what do you need to see to ensure that you have confirmation? And what I like here is I do like your candle that you pointed here. That's the support that's really kind of forming here. You could certainly make the argument that this candle right here closed above the previous level, and so you got a little bit of confirmation. But I really like your line you drew here, 441.87. You kind of got that level there. If you clear back up above there, you're not paying too much for additional confirmation. And now, instead of fighting that 90 MA on the downside, all of a sudden you're on top of it. And we see what can happen on the first part of the morning session where we got on top of that 5 and the 9. You just saw that momentum fly. Well, once you give it up there, you're battling here. You got to get back up above that. If you can't get back up above that, you see what happens throughout the rest of the trading session. So I hope this helped kind of explain the day a little bit there, Trader Joe. And keep up the participation. Loving it.